From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a winter weather alert.
Hey folks, it is 12 noon in the Tennessee Valley on this Friday, Snow Day 2025. Snowpocalypse, some people are calling it. Others, it's just a pretty day to look out a window and stay inside. I'm Ben Luna alongside Fred Gossage as we've continued to track the winter weather all across the region from Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi and its effects on all the residents in the region. We're going to continue to break down the forecast as we head through this evening and what you can expect, but we do think things are starting to wind down a little bit now. We're transitioning into more of just posting the pictures and traffic accidents for those who are daring to be on the slick, icy roadways across the area. But let's talk about it. Let's see what we've got going on across the area with a look at Viper. Here's a check on the regional radar, and still quite a bit of moisture to get through, but we are seeing things starting to wind down. Shouldn't be too much longer before the moisture continues to work on out of the overall area. But you can see just how many folks in the southeast and really up into the Midwest have been affected by this storm system, and how heavy snow continues to fall in Nashville along the I-40 corridor and especially along the Cumberland Plateau this afternoon. Do want to switch gears and take a little bit of a quick tour of our cameras just to let you know what's still happening across the area today. Let's hop into UNA because Florence just got plastered with snow into the morning hours. Several inches of snowfall reported along the Tennessee River and up and through parts of Lauderdale County and surrounding counties as well. But looking south there from the UNA campus atop Rivers Hall, you can easily tell that it is a winter wonderland near the river this afternoon. Make a couple more stops along the way. I do want to check out Cherokee, see if we've got a little bit of a, nope, never mind. That's all she wrote for that one, I think.
Looks like sleet's starting to pick back up, so the visibility's down.
So we'll hop over to Decatur real quick and take a look near the split there, just north of the river. Traffic is moving, but it is very slow. And then in Athens, we'll take a peek. Camera's been looking down on Interstate 65 at Highway 72. Again, notice the one lane on both the interstate and 4 lanes. That is almost the exact same as you head north of the state line this afternoon. Here's a live look in Lawrenceburg, overlooking the crossroads of Dixie, and 43 looks to be treated fairly well, but notice the side streets are piled up because when the state scrapes it, all of that moisture conglomerates and just kind of filters on the side streets, making travel still even harder for folks not on that. And we'll hop over to downtown Columbia real quick and check out the scene there. And it looks like the roadway has been cleared a little bit better around the square, but still some pretty big old flakes of falling there around the Murray County Courthouse. That is how things have shaped up so far on this fine snowy Friday. I have opted not to make a snowman, but instead, after this hit, I'm going outside and making a snow Fred.
No, I don't know about you, but I'm going to hibernate like the abominable snowman when all this is over.
I'm right there.
We're working on 6 weeks, 3 days, 18 hours, 27 minutes without sleep. So
I'm just kind of delusional now, so it's all fun at this point. So, but anyway,
we are on the downhill swing with this. We have a little bit more of the mixed precip to go through the afternoon, maybe even a few more light snow showers to work through from a band over western Tennessee. We'll talk about it here through the next couple minutes. Winter storm watch goes through the rest of today and into tonight. Now, the Nashville National Weather Service may be expiring this a little early. Instead of 6 a.m. tomorrow, they may be ending this at 9 p.m. tonight. But even after that, the hazardous travel conditions will continue because whatever's out there slushy this afternoon, or even if we see some melting on the roadways this afternoon, as we start to see a little bit of rain mixing in with sleet and temperatures getting up around 33, 34, it refreezes tonight into a hard freeze on the roads because of temperatures dropping into the 20s, creating a lot of icy conditions out there. So the winter storm continues, even though we're on the downhill swing. We still have the precip moving through. It's a lot lighter and it's more spotty and off and on now. We'll continue through the rest of this afternoon before tapering off this evening. And like we've been talking about, it's been a widespread heavy snow across a large part of the area. The 4 to 7 inches of snow we were forecasting across the area has verified. And actually, if you've watched this at all today, we actually had to expand those heavier totals deeper into northwest Alabama because of how things set up. The wintry mix is working through the area, but it's becoming more light and spotty with time. But despite that, widespread travel impacts continue, not just the rest of today, but into tonight. And then with the refreezing and the melting and the refreezing, they will continue off and on through the weekend. And we'll see if they try to continue into Monday morning. That's a big question mark, something we cannot answer as of this Friday midday. Here's satellite and radar composite showing the big snow from earlier shifting off to the east, wintry mix shifting northward through the region, even changing to a little light rain back into northwest Alabama. But notice, for northwest Alabama back into Mississippi, the echoes are tremendously lighter. We're having a dry slot punch in from central Mississippi that's eroding some of this precipitation, and that will continue this afternoon. Maybe one more band of light snow working across the area between now and about 7 p.m. that may give another dusting, something like that. Not too much more to worry about because things are becoming more spotty with the dry air moving through. Most of us are now up to the freezing mark or a degree or so above that after the heavy snow stopped, which is causing the roads to get a little more slushy than they have been. But don't let that fool you, because that's not the case everywhere, especially on the back roads. And then as we get later into the day and into the evening, they will refreeze again, causing widespread conditions. You can see the road temperatures themselves still below freezing out there. So there are still issues even as temperatures try to get closer to 32 and 33. So wintry mix moving northward through the area. Notice it breaks up in coverage and intensity heading into the afternoon. Final light band of potential light snow working through the area this afternoon, but that dissipates over time as it does move in, as the upper level system works across. And then this clears out completely as we head through tonight in terms of things falling from the sky. However, the roads are still going to be messed up from everything that's happened today and the refreezing overnight as we drop into the 20s. So again, if you don't have to travel tonight, please don't. We understand sometimes people do have to travel and don't have a choice. But if you're wanting to travel just because you're bored and you're cooped up at home, please stay at home if at all possible and let the road conditions work themselves out. 4 to 7 inches of snow is what's verified across a large part of southern middle Tennessee down into northwest Alabama. Yes, in Lauderdale, Colbert counties into southern Wayne County, we have started to hear more and more reports of spotty 6 to 7 inch accumulations. And we did see 1 or 2 questionable reports unofficially, but credible, of maybe as much as 8 in 1 or 2 communities. We'll be sorting through that as we go through the rest of today. Even south of there, though, 2 to 4 inches of snow all the way down to Highway 278 in North Alabama. That's not what's coming. That's what ended up happening and what the final totals are looking like as we get everything together. Still that potential for a slight light glaze of ice south of the Tennessee River, but that's winding down as well, in addition to the sleet over Middle Tennessee. Still there, but starting to wind down the time as we head through the afternoon. So winter storm warning continues today and tonight across the entire area, but is switching from being in effect for widespread accumulation ongoing to more of what's already happened and the roadway effects. And speaking of roadway effects from the winter storm, Ben Luna was in touch with the Lawrenceburg police chief earlier and had an interview about the road conditions across Lawrence County and surrounding areas across the region.
3, 2, 1. All right, joining us in studio now, Lawrenceburg Police Chief Terry Beecham, who has made his way out to the studios this morning. It's been a very, very busy day for the police department, and probably will continue to be so for the next few days.
It's getting worse.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you seeing outside this today?
Well, I got out about 7 o'clock this morning. And that was 3 hours after the snow began, and I can't find a street that's not snow covered and packed. I watched the state go up 43 this morning. West Gaines, the old highway, is almost impassable, as is North Military, Mar Avenue, Springer Road, Buffalo Road. If you can stay at home, please stay at home.
And don't sightsee.
Don't sightsee. There's nothing out there to see. You can see from your picture window in your house exactly what it is like all over the county.
And we've seen deeper snow amounts to the south.
Yes.
So far, some of those amounts are continuing to creep north toward Lawrenceburg, and not just that, but the whole Highway 64 corridor, which encompasses Savannah all the way to Fayetteville in our area. But for folks who absolutely have to get out, maybe for an emergency or anything like that, what can you tell them?
If you can make it to Highway 43, that's probably going to be the most treated. Of course, that is a state route. To quote an old friend of mine by the name of Dennis Daniels, the snowflakes are now the size of dish rags.
Yes, they are.
They're getting bigger. They're getting more intense. I've been in communication with Shelton Barnett. The record services can't keep up. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I just overheard on the radio a few minutes ago that one of the county units is stuck waiting on a record.
Oh, wow.
So you start putting trained professionals in the ditch, you got an issue. So any side street you're coming off of, just understand, as they plow 43, they sling that stuff to the left or to the right. So if you're getting off of or coming on to off of a side street, you're going to have to go through a sizable amount of slush. And as the snow keeps falling, as they continue to grade, the snow's only going to get deeper. I've talked to Jerry Smith, the street commissioner, this morning, or director. So just stay at home, please. I mean, sometimes even walking might be a better option. Just dress warmly. Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But unless it's just absolute necessity, mm-hmm. Stay at home.
Let's talk about the fact this is not going to be tomorrow morning. Sunrise will come and, oh, look, it just miraculously disappears. That's not going to happen. We're going to see this stuff linger around for a little while. And, well, that's going to also make conditions, I would say, even a little worse, because for people who have been out traveling, that's now compacted in a nice little layer of ice about that thick is formed.
Yes, exactly. And, of course, the temperatures will dip again tonight, which will lead to refreezing. And it's going to be slick. Just take the same advice tomorrow that you did today, and if you can at all, stay at home.
If someone does find themselves in a ditch and they call 911, what's the expectancy of what the motions will happen from the time that they place that call?
Well, I've got 4 units working today, and every one of them are tied up with people in the ditch. Mm-hmm. Or we've got 18-wheelers hung on a hill. You can expect at least a 30-minute, now, I mean, if you're downtown Lawrenceburg, if I don't have anybody, our resources are spent right now. Everything I've got is tied up. So carry that blanket.
Yeah.
Carry you some water. Even if you're going to Walmart from 7th Street, if you go off in a ditch, it's going to be a while before we can get to you with everything we've got. So
just stay home.
Just stay home, please. Pop some popcorn, make a snowman, go out, go sledding.
Yeah.
If you can walk to a decent sized hill. We've already got kids over at Kaufman.
I was about to
tearing
ask,
it up. Oh yeah.
Is Kaufman busy already?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. They're piled up.
That works.
That works.
I got years ago. I went sledding down the hill by E.O. Kaufman in my little Colorado pickup truck.
On Parrish?
Well, and on Pulaski Street.
Oh yeah.
Because I went down and got to the bottom and started coming back up to the stop sign. couldn't make it.
No doubt.
So I learned real quick. One, I need a 4-wheel drive, and two, I avoid that area like the plague ever since
Exactly.
when it snows or ices. So
Well, just you mentioned 4-wheel drives. Unless you're in a Sherman tank
yes,
or you've got change on your tires in the morning, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I know,
If it's fresh snow, you can get a little traction in it.
but not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, because it's going to be ice covered.
And I do think that this will linger into Sunday as well,
Right.
especially the back roads in the counties
Oh, it's terrible.
and the hollers. I mean, this is going to go on all weekend. So
Well, like I say, a lot of times we take a lot of criticism in why don't you do this, why don't you do that. This is not a every winter occurrence for us.
yes,
We number one, the expense of the equipment, not using that equipment on a routine basis like they would in your northern tier states, we're just not equipped. So,
but I will say to this, and I've been a part of several of these meetings over the past several days, that not just Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County, but many other counties in our viewing area in Tennessee and Alabama have worked diligently to prepare as best as they could for
Oh,
this.
yes.
I mean, this
Absolutely.
is a well-coordinated response to the best of the ability of the resources. But, and I want to stress this too, these folks who are out in uniform, yeah, they may be driving police cars and fire trucks and ambulances, but they're people too. They have homes too, and they have to get to work in order to staff and man these units.
Exactly.
And that's even hard for them today.
yeah, I've got a couple of officers working today that live in Murray County.
Oh, wow.
They ain't problem getting in.
Yes,
Now, going home tonight, they may be staying at one of our local motels.
yes,
Our hotels. So yeah, it's been. I think if you had the privilege to sit, I'll use the word privilege. If you had the ability to sit on some of our weather briefings, like the one we had yesterday, you would be astonished at the coordination that goes on
yes.
from top to bottom. I mean, it's well thought out. We will learn even more from this one. I learned a lesson today. We're gonna have to start addressing West and East Gaines.
Yes.
Since that's no longer a state route, because that's where most of our traffic's hung up this morning. Is on East and West Gaines.
Hill by the before you get to the brass liner.
There and at Glen Springs Road.
Yeah.
Out by the golf course.
That's
You
right.
got to get up or down that hill. And what a lot of people don't realize, Lawrenceburg sits on a knoll.
Yes,
You can't get in or out of Lawrenceburg without coming up or going down a hill.
that's correct.
And I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get out of your parking lot. So,
Well, I got to go get ready to push.
No
This
kidding.
is going to be fun, or we'll get Fred to come out.
I may go out the back way.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Be fun going off of that back hill, though.
True.
So,
Ooh, I hadn't thought about that.
Chief, thank you so much for coming by.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thank you for having me in.
You know, of course, from all of us here, we appreciate the work of not just you and the rest of Lawrenceburg Police, but all of law enforcement and emergency services on days especially like this. And can't take these folks for granted. And our
Well,
dispatchers too.
Absolutely. Yes, that's where it begins. And again, thank you for having me in. And if we can be of service, you know where we are.
All right. That's Chief Terry Beecham with the Lawrenceburg Police Department. Thank you so much for coming in, Chief. We'll continue now with our winter storm coverage.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.